Hello Gemini, welcome to your 2016 astrological overview. I'm Taylor Cole, your personal astrologer. This year is going to be a roller coaster. Let's just start there, be honest, get it out of the way. We have so much different cosmic events taking place that are speaking to you and really to all of the mutable signs, so Gemini, Sagittarius, Pisces, Virgo. But you are going to be feeling this especially strong because Mercury, your ruling planet, is going retrograde 4 times, which usually goes retrograde 3 times. Doing it 4 times. So there's just so much going on for you. I'm going to talk about all that, but first I would like to address the eclipses that are happening, because eclipses kind of give an overview, a theme of what's going on for the year. Okay, so first eclipse is happening on March 9th, and it is happening in the sign of Pisces, which is at the very top of your sky, and that is a very important place. This speaks of direction, life purpose, career, and it is a solar eclipse, which implies a new beginning, a new direction for you and for your career because of where it is. I see the potential for a lot of Geminis to suddenly have a grand realization of what it is that they are meant to be doing, what it is that they are supposed to do next, and just really starting fresh in their career. Now, this particular eclipse is speaking with Jupiter, Saturn, some would say Pluto, but primarily it is speaking with Jupiter and Saturn. What we have going on here is Jupiter is standing exactly across, down to the very degree, standing exactly across in the sky from this solar eclipse. So that is going to be likely, it's going to be related to home and career. I see the potential for a lot of Geminis to be moving to a new location, likely a fairly distant location in the name of their career. So maybe you realize you want to make this happen in your life. You want this to happen in your career. I can't do that from where I'm at, so I have to leave. And it's going to be like a sudden realization, because eclipses are not subtle in any way. They really just push you to do what you know that you're supposed to do. So expect the possibility for a move. If not, expect like a new job opportunity surfacing that somehow relates to your home. So this is the potential for maybe mixing home and work in some way. So that's the first eclipse. Roughly 2 weeks later, we're going to have the lunar eclipse, which is happening in Libra. The moon's going to be in Libra, the sun's going to be in Aries. This is all about your friends, your creativity, and lunar eclipses they do represent endings. They represent releasing, letting things go, moving on. Usually there's like a culmination point, so something reaches a height and then it ends. What this means is it's likely that some friendships will have to be shifted around. You will likely be seeing the need to change your social group in order to make these career moves that you realize you want to make. You realize that 2 weeks before during the solar eclipse, and now the lunar eclipse is saying, all right, if you want to be successful in your career, if you want to do these big lofty things that you have planned, you're probably going to need to shift some of your friends because they might not be helping you on your way. It's also going to relate to your dreams and goals. Maybe you have set your eye on a certain goal and the lunar eclipse is going to say, that's not really what we have planned for you. That's not really what the planets are lining up to create for your life. You have a bigger purpose. It's going to be connecting you with a bigger purpose, and in order to do that, you're going to have to get over some of the old things that you thought you were meant to do, and you're going to be realizing maybe there's a little bit more in store for me than I had expected. So that's going to be happening in March. Then the second set of eclipses is very unusual. I shouldn't say very unusual, but it is unusual in the sense that there are 3 eclipses taking place instead of 2. There's going to be an eclipse on August 18th, that is a lunar eclipse, and then one on September 1st, which is a solar eclipse, and then there's going to be another lunar eclipse happening on September 16th. This is just extra time to release and get over what is not serving you anymore. So the first one is happening in Aquarius. And so the moon's going to be in Aquarius, the sun's going to be over in Leo. This is all about your knowledge. So the sun is going to be an area of the sky that's very much about what you know. The moon is about what you believe in, your faith, your guiding principles. And as a lunar eclipse, it is going to be representing a shift in your principles, a shift in your philosophies, and possibly a shift in your faith. So you are going to be called to get over some of these things that you believe in and, consider part of your philosophy in life. You're going to be analyzing it, releasing some of it, and understanding a new perspective. And then 2 weeks later, we're going to have a solar eclipse happening at the very, very bottom of your chart. So this is a new beginning in your home, really. So it could be about home. It could be about parents. I do think it's going to be more related to home just because all the other things in your chart indicate like possibility for travel. So maybe you're going to be moving somewhere, moving to another location. If you didn't move in the first set of eclipses, this one has the potential to also create that move for you. It could be that you are not necessarily moving, but you're doing some big project, new beginning in your home. That is a possibility for you. So just really look for something related to home to be beginning, and it's going to be a big beginning. The next eclipse, the final eclipse of the year, is a lunar eclipse, and it is again at the top of your chart. The moon's at the top, the sun's at the bottom. So this is likely going to speak to, is my career serving what I know that I am at my core? So am I emotionally okay with the job I'm doing? Am I fulfilling my potential? Am I being who I was raised to be? There's going to be that. That's going to be a big theme. Am I the person who I know? Was I raised better than this? Was I raised to be working this job? Was I raised to be headed this direction in my life? So that's a question that could come up for some Geminis out there. Now, I really don't think that the eclipses are going to be the main energy of this year for you. Main energy is definitely going to be Mercury. And if you are especially a Gemini ascendant, but also if you're a Gemini sun or moon, this is going to be a period, all 4 of these times are going to be periods of time that you are rethinking matters, rethinking different areas of life depending on which of these 4 retrogrades are occurring. You're going to have time, all the words that start with rethinking, redoing, reconsidering. These are words to make a part of your life during retrograde. So first retrograde is happening on January 4th to January 26th, and it starts in Aquarius, but only at the very beginning of Aquarius, and then immediately goes backwards into the sign of Capricorn. So this is going to be a question of, do I have well, you're going to first start by considering some sort of higher-minded activity, so maybe school or travel or religion. All of these things are going to be something you're thinking about towards the beginning of the year. But then it's going to go into the sign before Aquarius, which is more about, do I have the money to go back to school? Do I have the money to go travel the world? Have I been questioning this religion enough? Have I really delved down to the deepest part of my soul to figure out if this is something that I truly believe in? There's going to be a lot of questioning your beliefs. You're going to maybe take something that you've just believed your entire life, and now you're going to be really analyzing it, going beneath the surface, figuring out, maybe this was good for me before. Is it still? A lot of you will find the answer to be yes, it is still something you believe in. Some of you will be changing your belief system right now. This is also a time to just really, like, I know this is going to be speaking to a small section of Geminis out there, but if you are considering getting a book published, okay, this is not the time to send it to the publisher. This is not the time to try to get it published. This is the time to maybe send it to the editor. Okay, this is the time to look it over. Anything you've been working on, any written work you've been doing, you are going to want to look it over thoroughly right around the beginning of the year. Okay, so that's the first one. Second one is from April 27th to May 23rd, and this one is happening in the sign of Taurus, the sign directly before your sign. So, one sign before a sign is always a foggy, kind of hidden, mysterious area of a person's sky. So for you, you're going to be reconsidering matters that you have been ignoring. This might be a time that you find out information that was completely hidden to you before. If you have any planets in Taurus, so for those of you who know a little bit more about astrology and have seen your birth chart, you're going to want to see if you have any planets in the 12th house. Again, something that you would need to know a little bit more about astrology to know. But so if you have any planets in Taurus, you are going to be finding out new information for sure. Something new is going to be coming to light, and you're going to be thinking it over thoroughly. That's part of it. Another part is that your focus might seem to have just dissolved entirely. So Mercury retrograde is always a little bit harder to think things through clearly. You know, thinking becomes hard. This particular one, even so much more. So, hard time thinking, but you're going to want to just find a little bit of time alone, okay? Find some time alone and some sort of meditation, or just letting the information come to you in a relaxed state is going to be helpful for you, because you're likely going to find information coming to you in these very subtle, maybe even metaphorical ways. Possibly in your dreams you'll be getting some interesting messages that you had not, been aware of. So pay attention to your dreams. Pay attention to subtle messages, metaphors. You might be getting messages in very metaphorical ways. So maybe something happens and it seems like a coincidence. If coincidences are happening right around April to May, you're going to want to look it over, because it's likely not just a coincidence. It's likely an important event in some way for you. So consider that. Next retrograde we have is August 29th to September 22nd, and it is in Virgo. So again, this is at the bottom of your chart. You are going to be reconsidering matters of home, matters of parents, matters of your roots and origin. You're going to be thinking about things that maybe happened to you early in childhood, early in life. You're going to be thinking about, what do I believe in, and is this belief my own, or is this something that was told to me by my parents? Okay? Big questions, and only by asking them will you find the answer. So think a lot about that. Think about, are these my beliefs or are these my parents' beliefs? Was I told to believe this, or do I really believe this? Next retrograde, and the last retrograde, is happening again in Capricorn. So just like the first retrograde of the year, the last one will be in the same part of the sky. And it is starting in Capricorn, going into Sagittarius. So it's going from part of the sky that has to do with digging deep. It also has to do with joint finances and, letting yourself be vulnerable with another person. And then it's going into the part of the sky that rules your partnerships. So you're likely going to be considering joint financial situations, the stability of your relationship. Maybe you're going to be thinking, is this relationship stable enough to get a joint bank account or get married and really share resources? You're also going to be considering, do I trust this person enough to open up with them in the deepest of ways? So that is something only you will be able to answer. So you're going to want to think about that. Does this person deserve my trust? A lot of you will find out, yes, they totally, completely do. Some of you will realize, maybe not. So think it over and think it through thoroughly at the very end of the year. All of your relationships. So from December 18th to January of 19th, so the very end of 2016, beginning of 2017, not a good time to get that joint bank account, start that business together. Not a good time to loan money, okay? Good time to start considering it. Then when Mercury is in a better position, that's when you would act on whatever decision you made as far as the joint finance situation is concerned. All right, so that is the major energy for you, Gemini, of 2016. Of course, I will be going over that information again in the monthly horoscopes, as well as more in-depth information too. I also just want to take a second to let you all know that my office is now open. It is in the Ballard location, Ballard neighborhood of Seattle. So if you're in Seattle, now I have like a private space to give face-to-face readings. I, of course, still offer over the phone, over Skype, video, and written horoscopes. So just another option. And you can find out more information on that, as well as read the daily horoscopes and so much more on my website, taylorcole.com. I really love connecting with you all too, so comments are, I love getting comments from you on Facebook, Google+, Twitter, all of it, and I just always love hearing what you have to say, giving me feedback on how the planets are speaking to your life. All right, enjoy 2016.